Ultimate Warrior, you turned into your big feud with The Undertaker, who was managed by your old friend Percy Pringle, Paul Bearer. What was it like with that?
Oh, I enjoyed working. I enjoyed working with The Undertaker. He was real easy to work with, and we had a good relationship. And I just enjoyed working with him. And then being with Percy, we used to crack a lot of jokes in the ring, you know, from years ago, because we've been friends for years. Yeah, so it was real good. I enjoyed it.
Did you think at that point in time, Undertaker, you know, it's kind of a concept from out of the blue, did you think he'd have the staying power that he wound up having now 15 years in the main events of WWF, WWE?
No, I didn't. But to me, I was over to one of my friend's house and he was watching, I don't know whether it was a Raw or SmackDown or which one he was watching. And The Undertaker was on there. This just been recently. And The Undertaker looked like he's getting better. He
stayed in tremendous shape.
Yeah. He's a sweetheart. I mean, not that sweet, not where I want to kiss him or nothing like that. But he's a good guy. Yeah, and I love working with him.
Were you surprised to kind of be booked out of the blue with him at SummerSlam '92 on television? He was having a feud with the Berserker, John Nord, at the time. But then when they announced the SummerSlam matchups, you wound up getting booked with him in that big show at Wembley Stadium. They had about 80,000 people at it.
Yeah. No, I wasn't surprised. I think we had worked together quite a bit before that in some of the house shows.
On the house shows?
Yeah. Yeah, we had worked together before that. And then they put that one together for Wembley Stadium. Yeah, so I wasn't really surprised, but I was excited to work with him though.
Was that SummerSlam '92 crowd the biggest you ever worked in front of?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, that was the biggest. And that was the worst payoff.
I was going to touch on that next. A few years later, you came out in an interview, and you can tell the story better yourself. You found out what you got paid compared to what Undertaker got paid, and apparently you weren't very happy about it.
Yeah, well, anyway, I've been approached about that, so I can't call no names. But anyway, I saw it on the book. Well,
where was the book?
It was in Pat Patterson's dressing room. It was Pat Patterson's book.
And it was open when you happened to go into the room?
And it was the payoff. It had to be the payoff because I knew what I made. And their mine was $13,000. And then Undertaker $500,000.
Wow.
And
for one night?
Yeah, for one night. So that was a big difference. That was a big difference there. So, I mean, I know that was unfair.
How do you feel when you walk in that room and you look at the book? Wrestling in the same match, one of the top matches on the show.
Yeah.
The guy you're working with gets, I don't want to do bad math off the top of my head, 25 times more than what you're getting for the same match, the same night. How do you react to that? I mean, it must have just eaten you alive.
Yeah, I couldn't concentrate after I saw it. It was before my match that night. And I don't know who I was working with that night when I saw it, but it was at the Nassau Coliseum. I couldn't concentrate on my match. I didn't know, I knew if I approached Vince, it wasn't gonna do any good.
Right.
So, but I did. It didn't do no good at all. And, but I wouldn't tell him about, I don't think I told Vince that I knew what The Undertaker made. Then it would have been, how do you know, who told you that, you know. So anyway, I just told him I wasn't happy with him. So he told me, so well, James, you know, I don't want to keep anybody from making a living. If you're not happy with what you made, you welcome to go. Yeah, you're welcome to go.
Did you ever approach McMahon about that particular payoff, or did you just keep that kind of to yourself?
No, I approached him about the payoff, about my payoff, but I didn't say what The Undertaker made.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
There was a lot of controversy around that SummerSlam pay-per-view. I remember a few months after it happened, Nails confronted him in the locker room, and they had their little altercation. Were you around for that?
Yeah, I was there. I was downstairs, and it was in I believe it was Green Bay, Wisconsin. I was on the card that night, and I was there. I heard Nails doing all the yelling and screaming at Vince, but I was downstairs. Yeah, I think he jumped Vince that night. Yeah.
And then he, I believe, called the police and said that Vince tried to
Yeah,
rape him.
yeah,
I believe
that's
that's
what
how
I
the
heard.
story went, yeah.
That's what I heard.
This This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.